Hey everyone, welcome back to another week of 2 Point Conversion. I'm John alongside my co-host Nico, and we're excited this week. We're going to start you off with some PGA talk.
Yeah, we'll jump around this week.
We'll jump around this week because we were always cooking up over the weekends when NFL was going on, which was so exciting. And now this is kind of an adjustment for the show where we're diving into some PGA, which we're both passionate golf fans, some NBA, which is a little more my thing, NHL, which is Nico's specialty, and then we'll wrap it up with some MLB spring training, which is always exciting. We're excited to get into this week. Nico, you want to get us started with some PGA preview?
Yeah, I mean, I want to, before we get into like actually talking about the PGA, I want to talk about golf in general.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a terrible golfer.
Me too.
And I've realized, I texted you yesterday and I sent you like, I was like, obviously, like you want to look at yourself when you swing and like kind of like grade your own swing.
Mhm.
It was vomit inducing. Dude, it was one of the most unenjoyable experiences I've had in a long time.
You know what's funny? You say vomit inducing. The kid that I play golf with the most, my friend Anthony, he uses a word. He made it up. He goes, "It's vomitous."
Yeah, vomitous.
And that's his favorite word to describe. But
I enjoy.
I was in the simulator this weekend, and it felt so good. I didn't hit a ton of great shots, but you know what it is? It's you hit that one good one at the end of the round, and that's what keeps you coming
see,
back.
that's what I was doing. Like I was putting the camera up, and like it's embarrassing putting a camera up, but like people understand like you have to like look at your swing to like see what you're doing wrong because you can't tell all the time. But I texted my brother who I usually play with, and I'm like, yeah, it's bad. Like it was bad, and he was like, you got to stop worrying about your swing and start worrying about your putting.
Well, dude, the good news is it's still only February.
Yeah,
plenty of time to go till the season.
Westchester over here, season starts in March. You got to get it right before the season starts.
100%. So
you got to go low.
What was really cool is my first time in a simulator this advanced, and it literally had pictures like boom, 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 and the milliseconds of impact. So you could see where you're off the toe, off the heel.
What you showed me, seeing that face, seeing the face and where you impact it. I would. Yeah, dude, that would be crazy.
It was a little bit at some shots where like data overload, where Anthony's like, okay, club speed was good there. You're a little deviated from course, so it was a little bit much.
Yeah,
but
in that video,
overall helpful.
Well, yeah, when they talk about like launch angle, you're +2 launch angle, and it's like I don't understand.
Yeah,
I'm
not there yet. I'm not there yet.
And like seeing that video you sent to me, where he's kind of like Bryson DeChambeau, like he's like swaying
he did
back
his Kyle Berkshire.
Yeah, he's trying to launch up there.
Well, that was towards the end of the day. We played Bandon Dunes out in, so we did that on the simulator, which was really cool. Oh my god, so hard. Impossible.
Simulators are great. Like I feel like as you can't go to like those Top Golf simulators. Like I really don't like them because it's not like enough time for the money you're getting. But if you have a simulator like that, maximum.
Yeah, I mean it's expensive, so he gets to use it at his club, and once in a while he gets to bring a guest. So it was a really cool experience. It felt good to swing a golf club again, and
yeah.
It was tough, but I'm excited for this golf season. We got to get out there.
We got to see. All right, so let's just get into some talk about what's going on right now. So we got coming up another one of we talked about it last week about how the PGA Tour has a couple elevated events, kind of in response to what happened last year, like the LIV thing, and like they want to make sure that they have these events. I think there's
I think we said 17. They have to play in 15.
Yeah, I think there's 15 of them. 17 elevated, 15 that everyone has to play in, and these are you get the best field in the PGA Tour coming to these events so that they don't separate and like it would used to be like on one week you would get maybe 10 of the best 15, and then the next week you would get 3, but these elevated events focus on that. So right now we have the Arnold Palmer Invitational coming up this week, starting on Thursday. This is the 4th event of the year. We had the last 3, which were Jon Rahm won the Century Tournament, Scotty won the Phoenix Open, and am I missing something? Oh wait, yeah,
Jon Rahm won 2 out of the 3. Yeah, 2 out of the 3 elevated.
The Century and the Genesis Invitational, and Scotty won the Phoenix Open.
Jon Rahm has just been on a roll. This guy, he's unstoppable.
I mean, number 1 ranked.
Yeah. Max Homa gave him a run for his money at the Genesis. We talked about that, but the Arnold Palmer Invitational is one of my favorite events of the whole year.
I mean, it's getting played at the Bay Hill, which
Bay Hill is a tough course, but I mean, if you go on YouTube and look up Tiger Best Shots Bay Hill, it is just you get the chills watching those shots. Legendary course, Arnold Palmer designed, a lot of water. I think there's water on 12 of the 18 holes, or maybe even more. I
Yeah.
mean, the legendary par 5, the 6th hole,
Yeah.
where Bryson last year took it over the
Well,
water.
well, Bryson.
No
I mean,
Bryson this year, which is
no Bryson this year, obviously, because he went to live. But I believe clearing that water's 310 carry.
I think it's more than that.
Uh,
I think it's like closer to 330.
330 carry to get. I think when he launched it over that one time, I think he had 336, and he got into the right rough. I think
Yeah, he
went
was
over
in
a
the
little
bunker.
bit.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you need to bomb
I think
it. You need the
I think
wind.
you have maybe 3 people who are actually going to go for it.
Okay,
I think Rory can get it there.
he's got to lay into it.
Rory's got a 328 average drive
That's
distance,
insane.
and those are fairway drives too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he does have inconsistencies going
If
right
the
and
wind's
left,
on his
but
side, he could get it there.
100%. But I mean, that should be exciting. We got this is the 4th event, like I said. 44 of the top 50 ranked players. I'm pretty sure the other 6 players that are in the top 50 are live players.
Most likely,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I think
there
there
Cam
might
Smith, Cam Young,
be Dustin Johnson.
DJ. I don't. DJ I think is in the 40s.
Yeah, he should
and
still
then
be up there.
who am I missing? Gooch.
Yeah,
Gooch is
Taylor
in
Gooch. Yeah.
Taylor Gooch is in the 30s, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty nice. There might be 1 injury or 2 injuries too.
Yeah,
some guys,
possible.
Yeah.
But
I know
think
Zalatoris was coming back, and then he hurt his back again or something like that.
I don't know what's going on with him,
Mhm.
but he is.
Oh, I see him here on the odds. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he might be playing. I think he's
hopefully
13th
he's playing.
ranked
He's an
in the
exciting
world
guy
right
to
now.
watch.
But yeah, so we have the past 13 tour winners. So the 13 events we've had this season, they're all going to be there. All the winners, the past 13 of them. And then you have the top 30 in the FedEx Cup rankings. They're all going to be there at the Arnold Palmer.
Exciting.
Bay Hill, loaded with star power. And we have Scotty Scheffler coming off last year's win there. And it should be really exciting. I mean, I love these elevated events because, like, you could take a week off from golf a little bit and then come back, and this is a star-studded. Like, you have everything. You have Rahm, you have McIlroy, you have Scheffler, Homa, Morikawa. Like, you have everyone. JT.
No Tiger though.
I
haven't heard
playing.
anything.
I don't think he's playing.
But he loves. I mean, I think this. I'm 99% sure that Tiger Woods holds the record for most wins at a single event on the PGA Tour with Bay Hill. I think he's won Bay Hill 6 or 7 times.
I believe
Yeah, he's won Bay Hill 6 or 7 times. He knows this course in and out. He loves this course.
I think right now, as it's standing, the lowest is a 62 hole. I think that was made. I think a couple people hold it. Adam Scott, I got it in 2014. I know, so he's up there too. So keep on.
Yeah, should be a really fun weekend.
Keep your eyes looking out for a 61 round from any of these guys coming out. Coming in the odds, Rahm is plus 700, followed by McIlroy and Scheffler, who are 950 and 1100.
Scotty has already defended this year at the Waste Management Phoenix. He's won that back-to-back years. He's set to defend again at the Bay Hill. Nico, who do you like this weekend?
I can't. You can't get that from me because I'm going to say I'm going to say my favorite. I mean, my favorite golfer is Rory McIlroy, and my second favorite is Morikawa. I don't think Morikawa is going to win, but Rory's ranked 3 in the world. So yeah. I don't know. I think that he has a good chance, but Rahm has been hot. I mean, winning those first 2, or the first one and the third one, I don't know.
And what about this guy, Chris Kirk? He just won the Honda Open this past weekend, which was not an elevated event, but Chris Kirk has quietly been putting together a very good season. I think he's the only guy besides Rahm and Scheffler with 3 top 3 finishes this year. He got his first win at the Honda, which was not an elevated event. Still a tough course, still a strong-ish field.
He's coming off. He won in a playoff.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of he went against, it wasn't really that great of competition. He went against Eric Cole. I think Eric Cole's a 34-year-old rookie. If I'm right, I think he played in his first thing. But Christian Kirk coming back, I knew he had a couple of drug problems, or maybe it was alcohol problems, and he was away from the game for a little bit. He comes back and, he gets a nice tour win.
Yeah, I mean, tour wins are hard to come by, and anytime you can get one is really interesting. The story of this past weekend, though, for golf was Ryan Gerard. He was a Monday qualifier.
Yeah.
Out of 110 guys to play for a spot, he's a Monday qualifier,
Finished
right?
10 under, 4th place.
4th place. He goes from a Monday qualifier to a $400,000 payday. Good for Ryan Gerard.
I mean that's what you gotta
That's
love. Like
impressive. Yeah.
I know we both watched. If anyone hasn't seen, Full Swing came out on Netflix. I know we both watched it. I mean,
Phenomenal.
you're talking about like players like Joel Damon, who like obviously he's a great player, and he's going to be at the Arnold Palmer this week. But sometimes these players, they don't have enough to get into these tournaments, and they have to qualify the week before. And I don't know what event it was last season, but Joel Damon qualified, and he was top 3, top 4.
You never know. You never know. With golf, it's who's ever feeling hot, a little bit of luck, and
Absolutely.
just a strong mental capacity, because golf is a tough sport. So I'm excited for the Bay Hill this weekend.
I mean, it's very easy to get hot in golf. It's very easy to get a lot of winnings and get a lot of points in the rankings. Like I'm looking right here.
It's just as easy to get cold.
It's just as easy to get
a
cold.
couple water balls at Bay Hill, and you're mentally defeated. You know what I mean?
I saw it before, and I was looking at the rankings. Like 30th in the world, like Sahith Tagala, like he was a rookie last season.
Love Sahith, yeah.
I love him so much.
Do you think Sahith could sneak up there this week?
He's 30 ranked. It's still his second season. He's I have a he likes playing off that that energy of the crowd. Like he is a young player, and he does like the involvement from the fans. But just as he can get hot, I believe, like we said before, like he could get cold. And like I just looked. That's Chris Kirk. I mean, moved up to 32nd.
Yeah, that's a big win for him.
Which is a huge win for him. So, who knows? You could see. I believe the pairings aren't out yet for this week.
Okay.
And what times we're going to be getting them or anything like that. But you got a couple players in here that, I mean, obviously you have your big names: Rahm, Scheffler, McIlroy. Schauffele,
Justin Thomas, Cantley,
Homa,
Finau,
Hovland. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but like, what I would really love, and like, I don't know if this is like recency bias, but like I would love to see Tony Finau win this. Like I would love to see
an
him.
elevated event. Yeah,
he's such a good guy,
like a mini major.
He's such a good guy, and I want to see him. I want to see him pull through.
Yeah, his episode of
Full Swing.
Full Swing was just a phenomenal episode, and you really see the person behind the superstar. You see this guy on the weekends on TV, and he's so locked in, and it was nice in the show. I thought the show did a really good job of showing that other side of showing how difficult it is to balance family life and being a professional golfer. I mean, you're on the road every single weekend, and the show was really interesting. It showed him, bringing his family along with him. He's got a big family.
Oh, he's got a huge family.
I mean, like it kind of reminded me of my own family.
They kind of like the episode was kind of about him, talking about, yes, he is a great player, but like that might also be a distraction to him. And like it kind of shows like it's not, because he wins and he plays well when they're there, and like obviously everything going on with him. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think I loved, and that brought light to Tony Finau for a lot of people. Like he's a very good guy. And I
really
enjoy
awesome
that.
show.
I think that, I really hope that we can get a good match coming in this weekend. I don't want to be more boring. I got Rory winning this week.
That's not boring. I mean, it's
boring.
It would be
it's
Rory's
my favorite
first
golfer.
win on the season.
Yeah,
and he's been.
He's ranked 3.
He's ranked 3, but he hasn't really put on this year.
He's been top 10
in a
lot
in
of
Dubai.
events.
He won in Dubai, which was a DP World Tour event.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but over in the States,
last season, I mean, he came off the FedEx Cup win last season.
Went
to the DP, won. Who knows? I mean, for someone, I feel like he had a couple years off where he wasn't playing as good after winning a bunch of those majors. Came back, he's in his early 30s now. Won the FedEx Cup. I mean, if he doesn't win,
and we know from the show, him and Tiger are really tight. So of course that Tiger's won.
That whole TaylorMade team is very close. Like them, Morikawa, they're very. I mean, DJ was a part of that, but now obviously, it's kind of shifted because of the live thing. But who else is in it?
Morikawa,
Tommy Fleetwood's
Justin Thomas.
Tommy Fleetwood's also.
He's Titleist?
No, yeah, he's part of the Titleist team. Tommy Fleetwood's part of it too. Yeah, I think he's TaylorMade as well.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of those guys are close, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, should be
exciting. Who do you got to win?
I like my guy JT. Justin
JT,
Thomas.
love JT.
His episode of him and Jordan Spieth of Full Swing was great.
I didn't realize how close of friends they are.
JT did well in they've been battling each other their whole lives, so it's kind of interesting now to see the dynamic. But JT did pretty well in Hawaii. He's been lurking. I think this is the week he finally makes that jump. I think he gets off to a really good start Thursday and Friday, and I think we see him in the final group both days, Saturday and Sunday, and he makes a push and he gets it done. I like Justin Thomas.
He is he's ranked 6th in the odds, 20 plus 2,300.
Yeah, and
So we'll see.
I know we're not endorsing any gambling on the show. Absolutely not. But I read a good article a couple days ago about golf gambling and how it's kind of like the most fun for your money to watch.
Well,
because
I feel like rather than
it's a 4-day thing.
Yeah,
you know what I
4-day
mean?
thing across one player.
Yeah,
and one person only. You're following these players are their own team, rather than follling a team and relying on different things. It's just one player to play well.
So the way the guy explained it in the article I read on CBS was pretty good. He was like, basically, you're not betting crazy amount of money on an even. You're getting good odds, right? But it's tough to win. There's 130 players in the field, but it's a 4-day thing. You're watching your guy go up on Thursday. Oh, have a bad day on Friday. So you're getting your money's worth, even if you sprinkle just a couple dollars around on a couple guys to win. You could do top 5 bets, top 10 bets. Not endorsing it, not telling you to go do it, but the guy made a really strong case for why golf is the best bang for your buck and the most exciting to gamble on, which I don't think a lot of people realize. It's a 4-day thing, but it can be exciting.
I agree 100%. I think that it can be fun. I don't do it personally, but that's because I'm broke. But I don't do it, but I understand why. So I might as well just read out the odds.
Yeah. So that was a good golf section. We're excited to see how this weekend goes. Monday we'll break it down how it went down.
Monday we'll break it down, and we'll also throw in a little bit of more NFL talk because the combine's this weekend. We'll talk about it afterward. We'll talk about it on Monday.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to talk about it too much right now because then
we have a really solid NBA section for you guys listening. We got 2 listeners right now, so
let's start it off.
I mean, we're about to break down some NBA for you. My New York Knicks, Nico. I was texting my friends yesterday,
excited,
and I said, dude, it just hits different when it's February, almost March, and you're still excited about Knicks basketball. It's not often as a Knicks fan that you are this excited about Knicks basketball this late into the season. So it's a really
100%.
good feeling. The Knicks have been playing really solid basketball. They're 6th in the East. I think we can get that 5 seed. I think we can even get past that first round. I'll break it down a little bit more.
I think that in the past couple of weeks, especially, it's you've seen it more because everything going on, like the whole conversation about New York basketball in the past 4 years has been Nets. I mean, you talk about the Nets, Knicks. They had that run, against the Hawks, and then that didn't end up too great. But then you have the Nets and their controversy between KD and Kyrie and the Harden thing, and they had this trio that was unstoppable that played 4 games together, in the entire span, which is crazy. But now you're kind of seeing a flip. It's going to become more centered on the Knicks now that KD and Kyrie are gone. But Knicks, 20 games left, 6th in the East. They're 35-27, 9 games back right now. Coming into tonight where they play the Celtics, 5-game winning streak. They moved up out of the play-in into the playoff spot, so now they're 6th in the playoffs. 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah,
you got Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle playing probably their hottest of their careers. Jalen Brunson's 24. Jalen Brunson's averaging 24 a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Randle 25 a game, 4 assists, 10 rebounds.
I was really nervous about Julius coming out of the All-Star break because he had a pretty bad showing in the 3-point contest, and has he been showing out? He's been playing out of his mind.
I mean, you come out of the All-Star break and, obviously you win that last game. And even before that, like, you're winning significant. Like I said, 8 of the last 10. This team, and I don't know if he's playing tonight, but Mitch Robinson's still out. Did he come back? Did he come back on Friday? He came back on Friday. Okay.
Game.
So, but even when he was gone, they were playing really good enough to move up into that playoff spot. And I forgot his replacement.
Jericho Sims.
Was it Jericho Sims?
Jericho was his backup.
And who's the German dude?
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah. Isaiah.
He's a gritty hustle player.
He's a good player.
Tips those rebounds out.
Yeah, and
I like it.
It's kind of interesting, like what everyone was worrying about last season. When you talk about Obi, like, is he a bench player? Is he a starter? And now you kind of see him like fit into that 7th, 8th man.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't say he's playing terribly, but he's
Yeah.
fitting his position. Maybe not what we expected when we drafted him.
I'm big on the Josh Hart trade. I wasn't sold on it at first. I wanted more of a scorer, but he fits in perfectly to this Tom Thibodeau
Yeah, but even
defense. He plays defense, gets a lot of steals, plays with so much energy, Nico. He's diving for loose balls, hustling for
I
rebounds.
mean, you want to talk about his split? Like he's 14.5 points a game so far. 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Like he's playing, and those 2 games when he came back, like when he came after the trade, it's that connection with Brunson. Like
Right
they were
away.
having,
Yeah, right away.
like he was lethal from 3, and like it's just he's playing a lot better than he was, and I think it can continuously get better, like with more chemistry. Everyone, playing.
And so,
together.
and the good news for the Knicks is there. So we talked about they're the 6th seed right now.
Yep.
The Nets are trending down, and they're the 5 seed. So they had that great start to the season with KD and Kyrie. They're gone.
Yeah.
Now it's just, I think it's 2 games separate.
Yeah,
the Knicks and the Nets.
Yeah, they're 2 games. They've played 2 games less than the Knicks. They have 22 games left.
Okay.
They're 5th in the East, so right above them, but they're falling. I mean,
yeah, they're trending
talk
down
about they
while the
won-
Knicks are trending up.
Yeah, they won 3 of their last 10 after the KD Kyrie trade. They're losing their spot. They've been stagnant in the 5th spot, but they lost to the Knicks. They kept losing 3 of the last 10. They're falling down. I don't know if they're not going to make the playoffs. I think they'll still fit into maybe a play-in.
Probably just because there's not a ton of games left, and the play-in now goes down to the 10 seed.
I think I see the Knicks moving up into that 5th, and maybe the Nets dropping to the 6th or in the play-ins. I'm not sure, but I don't see them pushing.
I
far
see
in
the
the
Nets. I
playoffs.
see the Nets dropping down to 8 because the Heat are at 7 right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Knicks are at 6. I think Knicks slide up to 5, Heat slide up to 6, and we're gonna have a good playoff series. Knicks versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell,
the return.
Mobley,
Yeah,
Jared Allen,
after
and
everything
that's
that
gonna
happened
be. I think
in
that
the
game
offseason.
goes 7. I think that series goes 7 games. It's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you have. I'm looking at the standings right now. Like you have the Hawks in at 8, and then you have the Heat at 7. The Hawks aren't really doing that good. They're like kind of sitting at 500 right now.
Made a big hire today.
Big hire. I did see that.
Big name hire today.
Yeah.
For those who haven't heard, Quinn Snyder is now in as the Atlanta Hawks head coach after 8 seasons in Utah. He stepped down, mutual agreement with the team. Great success in Utah. I mean, Nico, it was like year after year where the Jazz were top 3 in the West.
Yeah, you have Donovan Mitchell.
Gobert, Donovan Mitchell,
yeah.
Boyan.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really solid run. I have some of his
stats
stats here.
They had Rubio for a little bit.
Yeah,
right? They had Rubio for a little bit.
They drafted well. He was a great coach, always making a run. They just couldn't get it to that next level. So I think they decided, as a franchise, it's time to blow it up, fresh start. And the Jazz, with Danny Ainge now from the Boston Celtics, he's running things there. He's got a ton of draft picks from Donovan Mitchell.
Necessarily like they step away and like sort of, I guess, rebuild.
Yeah.
But they're still sitting in that 8th spot.
Yeah.
They really, they're 31.
That's how you go about a rebuild.
They're exactly 500. I think that's the best thing to do in the Nets scenario. Like they're still in a playoff spot right now, but obviously like they've lost everyone. I think they kind of just have to like float at this point. Like stay in the play-in.
Let the young guys get some minutes.
Yeah, stay in the play-in and then see what you're going to do in the offseason. They're not going to go far in the playoffs. If they do, I would be shocked.
Me too, because they don't really have that lead scorer anymore, that guy that demands the ball and can give you 25 to 30 in the playoffs. Mikal Bridges, we've seen some flashes, but we've seen flashes when he had Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton.
I mean,
he was the 4th guy.
If
you're
sitting here and you're reading this, like if I read you out these starting lineups, like they're not great for the Nets, like, but they
got Dinwiddie back, which they
got Dinwiddie
Brooklyn
back.
Fans
and,
Dinwiddie.
Yeah, the fans do love Dinwiddie. I know that, but I'm trying to look up splits here, but it's just KD and Kyrie Irving, and they're all gone. Like if I can try to get their start. I mean, like,
but
Bridges,
quick note.
Claxton, Curry, Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
Finney-Smith, I know they got in that trade as well, but Ben Simmons is a colossal failure.
Oh, that just has not been working out.
They're paying him $35 million a year, and it just.
Yeah, but final note on Quinn Snyder. I just wrote some stats down from 8 seasons as a Utah Jazz head coach, 372 wins, only 2 losing seasons in 8 years. Good hire for Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, you see, obviously I have some bias because I know someone who's on the team. I don't know him well, but I went to school with him. They have a great young team. Trae Young is great. They're missing. I don't know if it was coaching in there.
They've been bouncing around with coaches.
They've been
bouncing
moving.
around.
I mean, they've been moving a lot, and they're kind of always there. Even right now, like they're not great, but they're still in the play-in, and they could still pot. They've been in play-ins for the past, I don't know, 3-4 years. Like maybe
They beat
this
us in that series when they were the 5 seed, I think, or
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
the 5, they were the 4,
yeah.
something like that. But I think he's a good coach. I think he finds a way to win. They don't when he was in Utah, one thing was they didn't lose bad games. When they were supposed to win, they came in and got the job done. They went far, but they lost to some really good teams in the Western Conference, some really stacked teams. So I'm excited to see what he does. I'm not a big Atlanta fan. I don't like when Trae Young beat us.
Yeah,
but,
we're talking about the Knicks. I mean, we're both Knicks fans here, so like.
But good hire for Atlanta. They got some good young talent. I think they got to get John Collins out of there and find a real power forward that works with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, like they have Bogdan.
They have Kevin Huerter.
They have Kevin Huerter. Right?
They still have Kevin Huerter, right? Or is he on the Kings now?
He might be on the Kings.
I think they traded him to the Kings.
Yeah,
they got Clint Capella.
Yeah, I just saw Clint Capella and AJ Griffin.
Yeah,
the boy
from Step.
But
the biggest storyline in the NBA today is Damian Lillard scoring 71 points last night. I think he's only the 8th player in NBA history to
go 8th player in NBA history,
plus.
First Trailblazer to do it. 71 points, and it was so quiet. Like I was like sitting there.
Second most 3-pointers ever in a game.
It was
13.
13.
Clay had 14.
Yeah, and I think he had like 20 points in the first or some like crazy stat.
16
like that.
In the first.
Yeah, 16 in the first. I was kind of just sitting around. I don't really watch a lot of basketball. I watch Knicks, and like I just got the alert, and I was like, I had to watch the highlight. Like you have to watch the highlights when you're
insane.
Like 71 points, and it was like
13 to 22 from 3, splashing it all night. Blazers get the win. You know what's crazy though is that it's the 8th
a big
player,
win too. Yeah,
the
131
8th player in NBA history to go for 70, and the 2nd this year.
Yeah,
we got a Donovan Mitchell 71-pointer and a Damian Lillard 71-pointer this year, which is pretty impressive, pretty freaking cool. Some notes I have here, Nico, for you. I want your take on this, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, because I love Dame. I think I played point guard growing up. I was a little on the shorter side, but like I always admired. I always tried to craft my game after the shorter point guards that were both skilled as passers and shooters, and just like really team leaders. That was my favorite player to watch. So growing up watching Dame, I was just in awe of his game. Love the guy Dame. I love that he's out of Weber State, right? Weber State. Weber State, and he has just been an all-star, a first-team All-Pro. He's been phenomenal talent. But Nico, he loves the Trailblazers. They paid him. I mean, he's getting the mega bag.
I know the question you're going to ask. No, he is not leaving.
No, he is not leaving.
No, I mean he's been with the
11th in the West.
Yeah, but he's been with the Trailblazers, and we go year after year. Every time that it comes up, and he's, trade rumors. This. It doesn't seem like he really wants to leave. It doesn't seem like they really want to let him go. He's the only thing that's really attractive in Portland.
I know. It's just
in the past.
I want to see him get a ring. I want to see him get a ring, and it doesn't seem like Portland is willing to spend the money to bring in the guys or draft. They haven't drafted. I mean, McCollum was the best draft pick they've had since Dame has been there, and it worked up until a point, and now he's gone. I don't know. I want to see Dame get a ring. I would like to see him go elsewhere. The Knicks.
It's his 10th. It's his 10th season right now, and I'm looking at the stats, and it's not surprising me. Like he's averaging 32 points a game. Last year was 24. The year before that was 28. Year before that was 30. He's been averaging more than 25 points a game for the past like 8 seasons.
Yeah, I mean he's a true scorer, consistent.
9 seasons he's been averaging more than 25 points a game.
He's
constantly.
I feel like it wouldn't even be that heartbreaking to see Dame leave. He's given the Portland fans so many great moments. I mean, when he sent OKC home in the playoffs, Nico, hit that game winner on Paul George, wave goodbye. One of the great moments in Portland Trailblazers history. And I think it just comes to a point, like we talked about with Quinn Snyder for the Jazz. They were winning so many playoff appearances. Couldn't get it to the next level.
They have him locked up for another 2 seasons, I think, or maybe 2 seasons. I think he ends in 24-25.
Okay.
He's getting paid $45 million.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of money. A lot of money.
Does he really want to step away from that? He's number one. He's been number one there. Does he want to step away from that and go like what everyone else has been doing and go to these teams and just try to build a super team and then win a chip? Does that mean as much as it does to him like the other players do? Like I think that something that like at least like I have Dame Time shoes, which I thought were sick. Like it has like the clock on it on the shoe, which is cool. But I think that seeing a lot of people have been turned off by the NBA just because of what's been happening,
Okay.
because of the LeBrons, because of the KDs, because of the Kyries, and they're moving around. AD moving to LA, Russell Westbrook moving to where'd he go? He went to did he go to the Jazz and then didn't go to the Jazz and went to the Clippers or something
Yeah,
like
he
that?
never played a single game for the Jazz.
Yeah,
They
he
bought
went to
him
the
out.
Jazz, didn't sign, went to the Clippers the next day. You got KD going to Utah. You have Kyrie going to Dallas.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a mess.
Okay.
Everyone's going everywhere, and to me as a fan, I like seeing him stay there.
Okay. Fair enough.
I
Yeah,
like
that's-
seeing him stay there. He might not win a cup. He might not win a ring.
Hockey's next. Hockey's
Yeah,
next.
hockey's next. He might not win a ring, but that loyalty is something like at least I look at. I'm like, okay, I enjoy that. Like he's playing well for his team. They're not very good, but I don't think he wants to leave.
Yeah, not the answer I was expecting you to give, Nico, but that's a really
You
solid
want,
take.
You want
and
me to hack?
No, that's your opinion, and I thought you convinced me. Like you made a really solid argument for that, and you know what? I it's hard to argue with that logic, and I have to say I respect Dame, and as a fan, I get where you're coming from. I do.
He doesn't really seem like I don't really know too much about him, but he doesn't really seem like he's one of those players that like wants that spotlight of a big, like he plays in Portland. It's not very spotlight driven.
It's a smaller market for
nationally.
sure.
It's a smaller market, but he puts on a show for them there.
Oh,
he really does.
7
He
more
always
points.
dude,
He puts on a
he
show.
puts on a show for them
13
constantly.
3-pointers.
Every season there's a Dame story. It's Dame time.
Dame time. It's Dame time.
Every single season there's a new story for him.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
awesome.
just-
Good for Dame. No,
I enjoy
Nico,
it.
you sold me. You sold me.
I enjoy
Dame,
that he's
good
not
luck
doing
in
that.
Portland. I hope they give you some other superstar or something. Moving on. Milwaukee Bucks, 14-game winning streak. They're a half a game back of the Celtics for first in the East. The Milwaukee Bucks are on fire and fuego, Nico.
Yeah.
14 straight. They're unstoppable right now. We talked about Quinn Snyder getting hired. One more thing I wanted to touch on here.
Big win over the Bucks, over the Suns yesterday.
Yeah,
104-101. They're playing the Nets tomorrow.
the Bucks are.
The Bucks are playing the Bucks are playing the Nets tomorrow.
Make it 15.
I mean, I think today is what's called his birthday, so happy birthday to him.
Giannis?
What's his name? On the Bucks.
True Holiday.
Miles Leonard or something like that. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, Miles Leonard's birthday. Happy birthday, Miles.
He's on 10-day.
What?
He's on 10-day contract.
No. What do you mean 10-day?
I thought Miles Leonard was the dude who said the derogatory comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a 10-day.
He's on a 10-day. He played. Didn't he play?
Yeah, he's on a 10-day contract because he said a derogatory comment. So this is like his second chance after being out of the NBA for 2 years. But yes, the Milwaukee Bucks did.
He's
sign
on a
him last
10-day
week.
contract.
Yeah, dude, he's on a 10-day.
Happy birthday.
He's on a 10-day. Yeah, the 7-footer's gratitude was evident Wednesday after signing a 10-day contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. Leonard said it felt almost euphoric to practice for the first time with his new team. Sorry.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I remember
Second chances. We like
second
those.
checking. Good for second chances and letting the guy play on a 10-day contract. I've never heard of that in my
Yeah,
life.
you know, he we're not going to get into what he said on the
Well,
show.
yeah,
But
obviously.
he did say a messed up comment streaming a video game and been
I
out of the
don't
NBA
remember
for
that.
2 years. He's been on his wife's TikTok. It's kind of weird.
I don't remember that.
Staying relevant. But
He was
he's
on the
back.
Heat for a while.
He's on the Heat. Solid rebounder. He was a Duke guy, I think. Fun to watch in college.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's getting another chance with the Bucks. He'll back up.
The
Brook
only reason I
Lopez
said that because I
probably.
saw it was his birthday like 5 minutes before we walked in
That's
here.
funny.
But yeah, 14-game win streak, 5 games back on the Celtics.
0.5. Sorry, that's a 0.5.
Sorry,
Yeah.
0.5 games back on the Celtics. Celtics play the Knicks tonight.
Oh, baby.
Maybe we could help out. I mean, I want to help my Greek freak out a little bit. Fellow Greek over there.
Yeah, that's funny.
We help him out a little bit, get a win over the Celtics. They can move up into
And also
first.
just upset Boston fans, right?
I mean, always.
Always.
Always. I mean, like,
All right.
they're
Final, I have one more
yeah.
NBA note for today.
Talk about the Kings.
The Sacramento Kings are third place in the West. One of my favorite players in the NBA, another shorter point guard, like a guy I'm trying to model my game after. De'Aaron Fox has been on fire. Nico, get this. 7 straight games of 30-plus points. Hammer his props. We do not endorse gambling. If you are 21 plus, that's up to you. 7 straight games, 30-plus points. Kings have the longest playoff drought in NBA at 16 straight seasons without a playoff appearance. Looks like that will end this season. Nico, question for you. Can the Kings make a legitimate run?
Yes.
Yeah. They're built for it.
I mean, half the season, I mean, if I'm being honest, like up until probably like 2 weeks before the All-Star break, like I'm looking at the standings, I'm like, the Kings are here. And like the Kings are here.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that.
Kings are here.
Like they're actually here. Like they're just like slowly I guess the West is a little bit more open than the East is right now, but the Kings are 7 games back, 35 and 25. I think that's what they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm trying to pull them up, the Wi-Fi is bugging out. But
no, I'm just looking at some Mike Brown because I mean, like, good for Mike Brown, the head coach. He was a guy with Cleveland, with the Lakers a little bit, gets another chance in Sacramento, and he takes the Kings to the top 3 in the West. And I mean, I like Buddy Hield. De'Aaron Fox has been unstoppable. He's too quick, too nifty. He's been shooting the lights out of the ball.
You know, this is something that like a lot of people don't really look at. Maybe more people who are invested in stats look at as a team. I mean, you're talking about like home and away. Their home and away records are both very similar: 18 and 12 at home, 17 and 13 away. You like a team that plays
balanced,
balanced home and away. I mean, talking about teams that, if you want to bring up hockey, like something I know, like there's teams that play worse at home, which never really makes sense to me. Like you have your crowd to back you up.
Yeah.
But they play well away, which is like kind of opposite of what's supposed to happen. But when you have a team that plays balanced home and away, you get that crowd. They don't need the crowd there. They play well. Their depth, makes up for what's happening. The momentum that they could pick up. You have a lot of good players, like you said.
They got Sabonis, Buddy Hield, De'Aaron Fox are the big 3, but they have a deep bench, a lot of good young players. And my favorite thing from the Kings this season has been the light the beam meme.
The light the beam, yeah.
So when the Kings win, folks, when the Kings win a home game, they have this purple beam that they shoot up like from the stadium. It's this big spotlight. It's kind of like the Batman symbol from like Dark Knight, right?
Yeah, I don't really get it.
They
like I get it, but I don't.
The meme part comes from on Google. When you search up the beam, they've listed it as a place of worship in Sacramento. So like people drop all these funny comments like, my wife was going to leave me. The Kings won. We saw the beam, and now we're happy again. It's like
I think that like this is a team who hasn't seen a lot of success recently.
Yeah,
and they don't know how to market.
16 years.
Yeah, they don't know how to market like a winning thing. So like, screw it. Let's just light a beam in the sky. It's a cool looking beam. It's purple.
Purple.
It's just shooting out of the stadium.
Like, Nico, kids have been born, went through middle school, elementary school. They're sophomores in high school, and they haven't seen a Kings playoff appearance. We were babies the last time the Kings made the playoffs. So good for the Kings. Good for Mike Brown, De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox.
I'm a big
really
fan.
Congratulations, De'Aaron Fox. Like 7 straight. Like that's
30-point games. He's on a
insane.
He's on one right now.
That's insane.
And he was hovering for a while around like top 10 point guard in the league. Is he? Do you put him in? He solidified himself this year as a top 5 point guard in the league.
He's averaging 26 points a game.
How many assists?
4. 4 assists, 4 rebounds.
Okay.
And
but his shooting splits are much better, right? I think best of his career.
100%. Yeah, he's shooting significantly above his career average is like 19. He's shooting above like 25 right now. 25.
From 3?
No, from just field goal percentage. But
sounds like it should be higher than that.
3-point. He's a little bit higher than his career. His career is 32 from 3, and he's 33 right now.
Okay, 33%. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I thought his shooting numbers would be better than that.
He is playing he's playing a good amount of minutes than he's usually been playing. He's averaging about 34 minutes a game.
That's good. Season. I mean, that's solid. That's solid.
He's 5 points up in his career average in points.
Solid.
And I think this is where it's a little bit of a bigger gap. Like his field goal percentage is 55%. It was It's
That's what I was
47.
talking about. That's a big
Yeah,
jump.
it
That
is
is a big jump.
47.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, that's solid. All right, so that's all I got for NBA today. I'm excited. We'll do a little NBA segment each week for the rest of the year. Nico, get us cooking with some hockey talk, bud.
All right. So, in case anyone's wondering, we are 4 days and a couple 4 days, 4 days, hour and 20 minutes away from the trade deadline. So, trade deadline is March 3rd at 3 p.m. on Friday. I'll kind of give you an overview of what's happening in the league. Not everyone around us right now. So, we'll talk Rangers, Islanders, and then Devils.
For sure. Yeah,
a
that's
tiny bit.
perfect. I thought that was perfect the way you set this
Yeah.
up.
So, let's start with the Rangers. They are third in the Metro. So with 77 points, and they have 22 games left to be played. About 2 weeks ago, they landed Vladimir Tarasenko from the Blues in a lopsided deal. They gave up nothing. They gave up one of their very bad deep depth players, and a pick for Tarasenko and Nico Mikkola. They both came from the Blues. One's a very good defenseman. One's a very good forward. And Vlad is he's around 30 years old, but he's still playing at his potential. He's averaging like 60 points, which is very good. And this is where it gets dicey for them. And everyone's kind of waiting on the edge of their seat because, we're 4 days out from the trade deadline. They're very not rumored really. It's kind of confirmed. They're just working out details to get Patrick Kane.
Big name.
If you don't remember, anyone else doesn't remember, Patrick Kane is known as the greatest American hockey player of all time. And I think he deserves to be there because of what he's done. He changed the Chicago Blackhawks franchise, and
he's won a Stanley Cup with Chicago, right?
He's won 2 of them.
2. Wow. Okay.
I believe.
I know 2014. I think 2015.
2014 was the Kings.
2015, I think, was Blackhawks.
If you look that up, how many Stanley Cups he has, but I think he has 2. But so they're
Chicago Blackhawks 2015. I think they won one 2017 also 2 years later.
So they kind of built this dynasty. The thing about the Hawks right now is they're last place in the league. They've built this dynasty around these players. You have their two men. You have Jonathan Toews, and you have Patrick Kane. They played for a very long time together, and now they're in their early 30s. The Blackhawks were they were being resistant to let them go, and they didn't let go of them at the right time. They're letting go of them now, and they're kind of rebuilding now, which they shouldn't have. But Patrick Kane, their captain, 32 years old, he wants out bad, and he's been pushing this trade for a while, for a couple of years now, and now he finally said, "Deal me," and that's what they're working out now. The only problem is that the Rangers are dealing with cap problems because I believe right now they just got rid of 2 players in a trade for literally nothing. They got rid of 2 players. They are hovering around $2.5 million in cap right now, I think.
Okay.
Which is some people have done the math and they've realized that that's perfect for 75% of Patrick Kane's salary to be retained. So if the Blackhawks trade him and retain 75%, then the trade can work. And they're also trying to make other moves to make it work out. But everyone's kind of set.
Okay.
Even both sides are set. Like, this trade is happening.
That'd be big.
They just have to figure out the cap. Now I can breathe. So yeah, they're pushing for the cup. And it's kind of just a ride or die here. Like, Tarasenko and Kane are probably going to be both rentals.
Okay.
They're not going to really sign long term. They're both in their 30s.
So finish out this season and then hit free agency.
They're both free agents at the end of the season. Maybe they get re-signed. Somehow the Rangers work something out.
Okay.
Probably not. It's probably just a rental situation for the playoffs.
Yeah, that'd be huge for the Rangers.
And then we could switch to the Devils, who just did something yesterday. They got Timo Meier, who is young-ish. He's like 27, I think.
Okay.
He's fantastic. He's been playing in San Jose for a long time. They had a couple playoff runs, nothing really too serious. He's fantastic. Like, he's a great player, great two-way player, great scorer. He's great. They got him for 0-0. It was a bunch of just draft picks and players just swapped over. It was like a 3-player, 2 nonsense, right? And they're looking to re-sign. So he'll probably sign 7 years to the Devils, which, they're above the Rangers at second in the Metro, 83 points, 23 left to play. So Rangers and Devils doing pretty good. They're pushing towards the thing. When was the last time you watched a hockey game?
My senior year of high school, we went
3
to,
years ago?
there was a father-son club thing at my high school, and we did like a Rangers game. That was pretty fun. It was actually really
That was
funny.
the last time you've watched one,
I don't watch a lot of hockey.
even on TV?
I'm not a big hockey guy.
It's crazy to me.
I don't know. It's just never really
Do you
my
watch
thing.
playoff hockey at least?
If I'm with my friends and they want to watch it.
You gotta sit down. Don't watch regular season, obviously, because whatever. You should watch playoff hockey
Okay.
because
check it
they
out.
really emphasize.
I really do want to go to a Rangers game and an Islanders game and check out UBS. Like, you've been raving about it, and it
You
looks
gotta
so
come.
cool. And
Let's go.
I drive past it when I'm going to the airport or whatever, and it looks so cool.
I'm down to go if you're down to go.
Let's go. We'll send one.
But so I'll finish up the hockey talk, and then we can just talk about spring training, which I'm excited about. We have like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
left.
no problem, no rush. I'm enjoying the like you're good at selling it, Nico, when you're passionate about
dude,
it. Like,
I love it.
now
I'm
I
just
think
my
I
favorite
have to
sport.
tune into a Rangers game and check out
It's
Patrick
it's
Kane,
fine.
and because I know the name. I've heard the name. Some of my friends that I went to school with, they came from Chicago, and I remember being a freshman in high school. The Blackhawks win. We were in Florida for rowing, and I remember we're leaving the restaurant. My friend has it on his phone. The Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup, and I've never seen this kid smiling ear to ear. Like,
yeah,
I never thought I'd see the
because
day.
that about that cup is like Patrick Kane was such a big part in that win, and like that's his celly that he did at the at that final goal was like, it's world renowned now. Like, got the heartbreaker. He makes this heart and punches it.
Hockey fans are some of the most passionate fans out there, and when you get one like Nico talking and selling you on it, like.
I mean,
I'm a sports fan, so like when I hear Nico talk so passionately about it, like I want to get in on it and I want to feel that excitement.
If I could show you like videos I have, because like what I've been to a lot of games, and like one of my favorite games of all time was it was game 1, Islanders versus Penguins. I mean, 4 years ago now, I think we won an OT, and like when I tell you like that day. Like when I'm like upset, like I think about that day and like I'm smiling. Right? That day was so crazy to me, ear deafening. I couldn't hear a thing like for the next like 2 days. It was crazy. That's
awesome.
On my Snapchat story, like crying, like I was so excited. But you got to Patrick Kane, Rangers make the trade for Tarasenko. Patrick Kane goes on a tear because he was upset that they didn't trade for him. He goes on a tear. I think he gets in 3 games. I think he gets 8 points.
Wow.
So I think
and points are assists and goals.
For assists and goals.
Okay.
I think it's like 8 points.
Would you rather see the Giants win a Super Bowl or the Islanders win a Stanley Cup?
Islanders win a Stanley Cup.
Really?
Without a doubt in my mind.
Without a doubt.
I would, and I've had this conversation with a bunch of my friends. Like, without it, I would pay a lot of money to see that. Yeah. I mean, we haven't won since '81.
Wow.
I mean, we didn't.
And you've seen 2 Giants Super Bowls in your lifetime.
Yeah, I've seen 2 of them. And I just think we made the playoffs so I think it was 2016. We made the playoffs for the first time in 16 years.
Similar to what the Kings are going through.
Similar to what the Kings. So 16 years, that game we won in overtime and the drought was over. John Tavares, he's left us now, but he was our captain.
I remember.
That day was the happiest day of my life.
I remember John Tavares.
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
One of the kids I rode with, actually, he's Canadian. Tavares' first cousin.
That really?
Yeah. Big Canadian family. They're all like this.
Tell him that his cousin is a bum.
All right. Well, there's a whole story behind it. He explained. I mean,
okay. Well, I'll finish up so we can talk about spring training.
Yeah.
So right now the Islanders are number 1 in the East, number 1 in the Eastern wild card.
So what is that? Are they in the Metro as well?
Yeah. So they're in the Metro.
So where do they stand in the Metro?
So right now, how it works is there's the East and the West. There's 2 divisions in both. In the East, you have the Metro and the Atlantic.
Okay.
So the top 3 from the Metro make it, the top 3 from the Atlantic make it, and then the next 2 teams, no matter division, are in the
best 2 records.
Best 2 records are points are the wild card.
Okay.
And no matter what,
they could both be from the Metro. They could both be from the Atlantic. Doesn't matter.
It's usually from the Metro because the Atlantic bottom is kind of dull. But right now we're there and the Penguins are there, so we're both in the Metro.
Cool.
But so that's how it works. Right now, the Islanders are sitting at that first spot. right on the edge. So technically right behind the Rangers, even though they're a couple points ahead
Who's
of us.
first in the Metro right now?
The Hurricanes, and they're
Carolina, right? Yeah.
Carolina, very good.
And the Lightning are usually really solid too. Are they
Lightning are
Atlantic?
in the Atlantic, so they're also very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're sitting at that point. We just signed Bo Horvat, who is
Yeah, you were really excited about that.
and I love him so much. He just scored a shorthanded goal. If you don't know what that is, the other team's on a power play. He scores. We're a man down, and he
Yeah,
scores.
that's awesome.
Love him. He's doing fantastic for us. We signed him to an 8-year, $8.5 million deal. We're not likely to make a move.
That was the
the main move. Even though I believe that we need more depth in the team, like defense wise, I don't think we're gonna do that because that's not really what we do. We're not a very big market team. Obviously, you have the Rangers who are very big market, and that takes up the majority of it. So we're not likely to make a move, but it should be exciting. We have 19 games left to play, and which is we played the most games in the out of the entire league, so that's kind of a disadvantage. But very excited. We can move on to baseball. Spring training started last week. Very exciting.
Yeah, so I don't have a ton to talk about baseball yet. It's still just spring training. I'm excited for the Yankees this year, but one thing I want to talk about was so you've probably been hearing about all the rule changes coming to MLB this season. Depends what side you're on. I know some of the older generation, my dad, my parents. My dad's not a big fan of the rule changes. Really not liking them at all. I'm still indifferent. I want to see how it plays out. But the biggest one we've been hearing about, me and Nico were texting a little bit about over the weekend and how we think it's going to affect the Yankees specifically, is the pitch clock rule. So the pitch clock rule, to explain for you if you don't know what it is 30 seconds to resume between batters. So after an out or a base hit or something, 30 seconds for the game to resume. Between pitches, pitchers have 15 seconds to start their windup with nobody on base and 20 seconds if there's a base runner. The pitcher must start his delivery, so start your windup, come set, take your step, do whatever you do before the pitch clock expires. A caveat to the rule, a rule that I did not know existed, was if the batter is not ready and looking up at the pitcher with 8 seconds remaining, that is a strike on the batter. So we saw that
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like if the pitcher is not ready in time and he doesn't deliver the pitch before that clock runs out, it's a ball.
So we saw it happen to one of the game's biggest superstars, Manny Machado. He was doing his thing, gets up to the plate, taps home plate, adjusts his chain, adjusts batting gloves, and it's 9, 8, 7, 6. He looks up and the umpire's pointing at him. I'm like, what's going on? What'd he do? Strike one. You start in the bat 0-1.
Started 0-1.
So,
and we even saw it in like late.
I
don't know if it was the Phillies game or if it was the Braves game, but I know it was a NL East team. I think it was the Phillies, but their game ended
on a strike call.
On a strike call. It was bases loaded. It was 3-2 count, bases loaded, bottom 9. He didn't get into the box in time, and that was it.
Yeah, so they want the games to be snappy. I know it's just a small sample size, but
but we could see it.
The games have been 30 minutes shorter on average, and that's what MLB wants. They want to condense the game a little bit, a little more action packed. It'll be interesting to see how it works out, but they're not joking around with this. You got to be snappy. You got to be ready. No wasting time. No dilly dallying.
and it's not like it's something that you can't tell what's happening in the game. Like, you notice it automatically when you're watching these new games, and it's going to be a theme across the entire season.
Yeah,
you're going to sit down, you're going to watch, and you're going to notice, like, okay, whoa, there's a pace to it, and they're moving. The games are 2 hours and 20 minutes was like the average spring training game this year, which is significantly
30 to 40 minutes shorter than what was going on last year.
It's significantly shorter. It's faster pace. Do I like it? I'm not sold on it yet.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone's rushing because no one's really used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that, okay, he threw the pitch. All right, the catcher's got to get it back. Okay, 10, 9, 8, wind up, go.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are on the same page as you, where they'd rather see a better product, a better game, than a fast game. I think there might still be some tweakage to this rule to come because, like you're saying, people aren't really sold on it. The players aren't really sold on it.
The 20 seconds with the man on base gives zero time for checkdowns, and like zero. Like, there's no way he's gonna check the first base runner in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Does it reset if he throws it?
I think so, but then listen to this. You're only allowed 2 throwovers.
See,
So,
I don't mind.
like,
I don't mind that much because like
that does
I'm
slow the
sick
game
of
down.
just 5, 6, but that's fine. 20 seconds and 15 seconds is a lot.
It's quick.
It's very fast, especially in baseball when this is a slow game in general. And they're trying to speed it up, and it's worked in the minors. They used it last season. They were testing it. But what do you think? What's your opinion generally on the clock?
I like that MLB is making changes to try and speed up the game to keep up with this, this younger generation, get them start watching a little more baseball. But I think it's too quick, like you said. I think it's too quick. I think it should be 20 seconds with a runner on, or 20 seconds with nobody on, 25 seconds with the base runner on. I think they cut it a little too short.
30 seconds, I think, with a base runner is fine with me.
30. So
30.
You're saying 10 seconds.
Because they're
I would
only
be
allowed
okay with 5.
They're only allowed two checkdowns.
Yeah, I would.
So they could throw
okay.
it twice.
Yeah.
But keep the clock running. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you have 30 seconds and you have two
You got to
checks,
throw it, get it back. Okay, make your mind up. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I just think that I keep dropping this thing, but the way the game is being, there's a clip, I don't know. I think they're going to get used to it. They're going to use the entire 20 seconds and get that pitch out by like 1-2 seconds. That's the way to go.
Well, the pitch doesn't have to be out of your hand. You just have to start that.
If they start that wind up at 2 seconds or 1 second, rather than starting it like they have been at like 7, 8, it's going too fast.
Okay.
You understand? Like it just looks
rushed.
It looks rushed because they're not used to it. I think that'll come with time.
No, that's a good assessment.
I'm not really worried about it, if I'm being honest.
Not really worried.
I'm going to be more worried about next season when they implement robot umpires.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because like
we
kind of saw it last season.
I don't want to see a robot ump. I would like to see the challenges on strikes and balls, but I don't want to see robot.
Yeah,
ump.
You saw the Jason Dominguez thing.
Yeah, where
last season where he taps his helmet, challenges
I like
the strike
that
and gets it.
I
enjoy that. No problem with that whatsoever. Robot ones, I'm not down for.
Yeah, no, that kind of takes the humanity out of the game. That is a crucial part of baseball. What makes baseball unique.
Absolutely, I agree.
I don't know.
But I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the
Yankees. We got Yankees baseball coming soon. I'm so hyped.
Yankees, Mets,
New
York City.
I think I'm going to Game 3.
Okay, awesome.
I think
the Giants are in town. I think for the opening series.
Yeah, their opening series. I think
took their best pitcher.
I don't know if I'm going Game 3 or Game 4.
Yeah,
but I'm going to one of them.
Awesome, Nico. Well, that's all I got for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our 3-4 listeners we had.
Shout out.
Good takes today, Nico. Really solid show. We'll be back next week. We'll break down some NFL.
Next week.
NFL draft.
Next week I really want to talk about the combine.
Okay.
Because that's going to finish up. We're going to see what everyone kind of stands. Bears are looking to trade their pick. We'll see.
Yeah, Bears now more than likely.
Yeah.
Trade that first pick. So
really
we'll have another good show for you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Have a good one.
See you guys.